Hi, fourth graders. I'm going to do another read aloud from our National Parks of the United States of America book. Again, I've not been reading all of these. I'm just kind of covering a little bit of some of the more popular or interesting ones and just trying to cover at least a couple from each region. So for today, we're moving on to the Rocky Mountains region. For this page, it says, rising more than 14,000 feet into the western sky, the Great Rocky Mountains stretch clear from Canada to Mexico. This wall of peaks posed quite an obstacle to America's early fur traders, adventurers, and pioneers, such as Lewis and Clark, and of course the Sager family and the others coming across the Oregon Trail and some of the other trails that brought people out west. Roads now traverse the range, but it's still rugged travel. Hike up steep mountains to see the same animals that were here centuries ago. Packs of wolves, mountain goats, grizzly bears, wolverines, and elk. Explore massive white glaciers, climb up the tallest sand dunes in North America, and listen to the deafening roar of waterfalls. This is a place for adventure, whether it's skiing down slopes or whitewater rafting down a rowdy river. So we're kind of in the Rocky Mountain range here. There's quite a few national parks within the Rocky Mountain range. I'm only going to read one of them and then move on to the West Coast and read a couple of those, and then we're going to move on to a novel. Yellowstone. Founded in 1872, Yellowstone was the world's first national park, inspiring thousands like it around the globe. Thanks to hot magma just below the surface of the Earth, Yellowstone explodes with more than 10,000 geothermal features. Geysers shoot ultra-hot water hundreds of feet into the air. Fumaroles hiss with steam and mud pots gurgle. This park is also famous for its plentiful wildlife and scenery, like a huge volcanic crater and waterfalls that tumble into canyons. Bison graze in the valleys, elk calve just outside the visitor center at Mammoth Hot Springs, and foxes build dens right along the road. It's not uncommon to see grizzlies crossing the highway and to hear wolves howling at night, just like they did centuries ago. So Yellowstone on the map here is located in Wyoming. Does kind of go into Montana a small amount, but it's in the state of Wyoming, Montana, and Idaho actually. Founded in 1872, the first national park in America, and the size is 2,221,724 acres, so probably one of the larger national parks just in its size. Here's some of the plants and wildlife. The grizzly bear. Grizzly bears weigh up to 700 pounds and have huge claws. But they are mostly vegetarian. Colorful hot springs. The hot magma under Yellowstone heats up the underground water, which then bubbles to the surface, forming hot springs. Many turn crazy colors, like grand, prismatic springs. It's not the water that's colored, though. It's tiny bacteria, known as thermophiles, which can withstand some of the hottest, most acidic waters on Earth. So those thermophiles, those bacteria, make this pool look very, very blue. A sandhill crane. Lodgepole pine, a whole lot of pine trees. That's just an example of its needles and cone. Warm Springs spike rush, another one of the plants. And Yellowstone sand verbena. Botanists think this species survives the cold with help of warm sand from thermal features. Elk. As many as 20,000 elk roam Yellowstone during the fall. You can listen for them bugling. Here's a lynx. These wild cats with tufted ears are so secretive they've only been spotted 112 times in the history of the park. Do you think you could find one? An American dipper. Yellowstone cutthroat trout. And then, of course, the geysers. Yellowstone has more geysers than any other place on the planet. Old Faithful is the most famous, erupting in a spectacular 130-foot-tall fountain every 60 to 110 minutes. But there are lots of others in fanciful forms and shapes. Some geysers spout in bursts, others in fireworks. Some shoot up every few hours, while others only appear every few decades. One named Steamboat rockets up to 400 feet in the air, but its eruptions are totally unpredictable. So that was Yellowstone National Park, some information about it. Again, we'll read a couple of more from this book, but then we're going to move on to a chapter, book, or novel. Hope you enjoyed. Hope to see you all soon. Keep up the hard work. See you later, guys.